And we're back! Chat, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
My meters can hear you. Hi, Verbing
I
Nouns.
think it's audible.
Hi, Merc. Sir, yeah. Hope you're feeling better, Merc. I hope we can distract you from the ridiculousness you're dealing with. Shotgun Splicer. I don't know if I've seen you before. Welcome. For all I know, you've been here for months, but my brain is mush. Hi, I'm Chris, and I'm the GM and the channel producer. Which is why I have written down today's intro, because otherwise we'll be here for 800 bajillion years while I try to remember what happened. Says, hello chat, thanks for coming tonight, or for watching the VOD with your future eyeballs. We're Magic Fish Radio. We run TTRPG streams on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and are working out a video game stream schedule to start hopefully next week. We are currently looking for new players for our Tuesday night Vampire the Masquerade game, Eldritch Adversaries, which is V5 set in the roaring 1920s. So a lot of that new lore hasn't happened yet. I say yet. We're also looking for indie RPG writers, developers, Kickstarters, contributors, etc. to run one-shot modules of their indie games for MFR streams on alternating Saturdays. If you're interested in any of this nonsense, or if it even made any sense, or if you just like the vibe here, please join our Discord. There should be a bajillion links to it in chat by now. Tonight's adventure is Exit to Idun, A World of Darkness in Space, which we stream here every other Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Set 6,000 years in NWoD, or Chronicles of Darkness's future, humanity lost Earth, set up some core colonies, set up the Expanse colonies beyond the core, and at some point discovered the supernatural races were defending them against the horrors of space and beyond that whole time. At first, humanity was cool with it, but now Supernats are such a convenient scapegoat that almost everyone in the system hates them. Or almost everyone in the verse hates Supernats. In a gender-fluid society where almost all the other isms and phobias are done with, humanity has doubled down on classism and hating on Supernats. That said, so this is NWoD, or Chronicles of Darkness. We're using the second ed systems plus the Mirrors series of books, which offers alternative realities for your game system. But we are running with a first ed Mind's Eye Theater hack where all dice rolls are 1d10 plus your dots. And you, chat, can buy +1s for these d10 rolls with your channel points, which we use instead of cash because no one has cash right now. And we're tiny. You can also use your channel points to buy custom NPCs, which I have final editorial say on, but it's fun. I promise, fun for both of us. And also, we're still looking for suggestions for the pool of spaceship names, as the party sometime last year, acquired a spaceship, and it does not officially have a name yet. So we're going to collect suggestions, and then the party players will vote on whichever one they can live with. Yeah, let's go with that. As for our party is from Idun system in this ridiculous verse, which is one of the last Expanse systems that still like Supernats, since it's illegal to be a Supernat in the core systems, and the rest of the Expanse is slowly following suit. They are part of a company called Karve Tourism Ltd, which is a front for an underground railroad that gets Supernats and others out of dangerous systems and out of the verge, i.e. the new colonies on the edge of known space, bringing us to the present plotline, which has been an interesting roller coaster of side quests and weird characters and being outside of what they are used to. Because Eden system's pretty chill, and Limos system, which is where they are now, is not chill. Our players exited from Idun and into Limos system, which is creeping closer to a full-on supernatural purge, and presumably Karve is either trying to stop that or help people escape it.
Both. Both is good.
Yes. However, while they were in town, they got prepositioned by the Archimedes Crime Syndicate, which, thanks to Supernats already leaving the system, they are having a personnel problem in Limos. And they charged the party with collecting at least one Supernat detector, because everyone wants to know how these things work. And stealing one that works is the best way to get there. Hopefully. Our party, the Karve Limited, stole a cheap one from a post office because Limos is so into hating on Supernats that Supernat detectors are part of standard municipal security. And then, some number of sessions ago, our team infiltrated an elite rich a-hole party with marvelous outfits to steal a top-of-the-line version. A couple episodes after that, just as they had succeeded heisting, a huntsman attacked the party and kidnapped the famous musical performer Etta J, which for some reason led one party member to follow them into a hedge gate. So, weirdly enough, persecuting Supernats doesn't protect you from other supernatural forces like the Trufe and their minions. Who knew? After a romp through an archaically alien pocket of the hedge, the huntsmen surprisingly offered a trade of their hostage for their freedom from the monarch, in which case they would stop bothering the party. But the party had to do something for them, which the huntsman was, by their nature, barred from doing, because fairy bullshit. Then the party decided to walk back through the same hedge gate they came in through, rather than make a new one, into the same party hall they left, with all the freaked-out rich people, the scary pro-security staff, and now there's a whole bunch of cops there. So before we get into that predicament, or not, my general GM style is to just casually forget what ridiculous players my player characters have, because it's too many spots to keep track of, and just roll with it when I get blindsided. But it works out. Maybe I shouldn't have said that on stream. Anyway, I have improv training. It's fine. Like proper improv training, like at an improv school, not half a BuzzFeed article that my friend told me about. I'm not bitter. Anyway, I've been talking for 8 minutes. Now let's let other people talk. Let's go counterclockwise. Tempto, who are you playing today, and how many aliases do you have as you are the newest member of the party?
I am playing Boris, aka Longtooth, aka Natasha, aka Officer Bork Bork. That last one came up. It seems like it's a moniker that has been given to me by one of the other party members. I do believe Masterson gave it to me at some point.
Bork Bork, not Bork Bork.
I changed it to Bork Bork.
Well,
it's my name. I can do what I want. Thank you. But I am a werewolf, former cop, kind of relieved from the force when the chief found out that there was some bullshit going on. He wasn't quite sure what it was, but he's like, yeah, you can't be here anymore. But I was in their cyber crimes units, and I did a lot of hacking and anti-hacking for them. And I kind of joined the group because there was a job that came up and I needed money. And now I've been sucked into all this other stuff that I don't think I signed on for, but I'm going to see it through anyway.
Woohoo!
You're also our new Dune Wrangler. Congratulations.
Right?
Next, Dracus. Who are you playing, and how many aliases do they have as you're one of the founding members of the party?
I have
Oh,
so many
Saga.
aliases I have lost count because I had a couple before I joined Carve.
Mm.
So I'm Dracus. I'm playing Klaus, who's currently being called Craig Daniels at this party, and Dr. Gina Rakis in the Limos system in general. I'm the party medic and mage, and I'm pretending to be Petruchio's persona's personal doctor around here. So haven't had much call for that yet.
Well,
Thanks.
Petruchio doesn't need a personal doctor because
Yeah.
Petruchio
But
is a
your
vampire.
alias does.
But his alias does. I was just doing this transition. I'm Josh. I am playing Petruchio, who is in fact a vampire, who in the system is going by Rosencrantz, and at this party is going by Alphonse. Alphonse is not a vampire, but Petruchio totally is.
And
I'm playing Masterson and a lot of other people. We're on our 8th alias now.
Oh, you've
but
kept track.
I have. I'm a shapeshifter, so aliases are real easy for me to do.
Other party members include Dune the Wolfblood, who sadly could not make it tonight, as well as
Sungrazer.
Sungrazer, yes. A changeling who could also not make it tonight, but one was more last minute than the other. So I knew to plan for that. So luckily you were all just in the hedge, so surely Sungrazer's just still out in the hedge somewhere. But they're a changeling, so
Yeah, it's not like the hedge is dangerous to him.
He's also looking for more pets, so.
This is true.
That's not great.
yes, so again, chat, remember you can buy stuff for the GM or the players with channel points. So, although not if you're watching via VOD, sorry about that. But we're working out having more streams over the course of the week, so you can maybe build up channel points, and maybe we can work out buying things off stream to torture us with during stream. We'll figure that out.
That sounds exciting.
Players, you have 22 +1s in your pool.
Means you have like 35.
Oh, I have a lot more than that.
Then you got another one at the beginning of the stream.
Oh, thank you. Add that to my notes.
Mark asks why I'm the designated Dune Wrangler.
Werewolf
Because they all
privilege.
found out.
Because you're a werewolf.
Mhm.
That means
What if I
you
just
have-
turned into a giant wolf and walked into the hedge? And then everyone's like, oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, why is this giant wolf with us in the hedge? Oh, gotcha.
So here's kinfolk on the big list of things of people's responsibilities, and here are
Maybe
werewolves.
that's why he got let go from the force.
And werewolves get to tell kinfolk what to do. It's amazing.
You can work that out between yourselves. Like, Dune doesn't
Yeah.
have. Dune has a thing about werewolves.
Yeah, fun fact about Eden system. Eden City is teeming with kinfolk and not many werewolves because the gauntlet is ridiculously high. Meanwhile, in the wolf country, elsewhere on the planet that the city is on, all the werewolves are assholes. Which is another reason why all of the kinfolk run to the city, where the wolfies won't follow them because they hate it there. But we're not on Eden right now. I kind of
Nope.
miss it. But
We'll get back there someday.
we'll get back there. Just, I kept getting all these fun ideas for side quests, not realizing how long it would take.
That's a good question, Dune.
Merc asks, on the other hand, if
Or-
Eden
yeah.
has leash laws, can Tempto walk himself? Depends on what form he's in, and if it causes delirium, or whatever we call it. Lunacy? I forget what we call it in NWoD.
Lunacy would be such a great term.
Alright.
Perfect pun.
Players, do we have anything else to declare or ask before we start?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we have chat in case you want to do something like get a snack or make some ramen, which is a snack. We have a 10-minute break at about 8:30. So, woohoo! This has come up before. I'm still sorry. Anyway. So yes, our player characters escaped out of the hedge and out of this weird pocket hedge realm that was all like, well, we would know it as 40s noir, hard-boiled noir, but to these folks who don't remember what Earth was like because it was lost 6,000 years ago, it was just this really weird primitive alien planet where like no one had cell phones or lasers or like computers, which got weird because some of them have computers implanted in their bodies because cyberpunk. But somehow they were able to do some stuff and leave without the huntsman eating them. Yay. Or I should say, without the maw eating them. And they all happily went their separate ways. And exiting that same hedge gate they came in on, they ended up... It is... You definitely get the sense that you were in the hedge longer than the time that has elapsed out here. It's maybe been like a half hour out here. But that was definitely enough time for the police to show up. In their scary future cyberpunk police shock troop armor. And they are currently... there are a whole bunch of fully armed riot gear dudes, or people of all genders. Because sadly, all genders become cops here. And, so yeah, everyone's armed, but right now they just seem to be taking, like, witness statements and calming people down and interviewing security. Even the badass security guards in their svelte black suits, are kind of freaked out, because that was strange. Who was the first to come out of the hedge gate? Okay. Remind me again, Matt, is Masterson the moniker you're using with all of your new municipal friends?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so the woman that approached you and Sungrazer when you came in and you set off the Supernat detector and then had an interesting way of negotiating, I am not really a Supernat, and got them to actually downgrade the Supernat detector to a lower setting. She is basically standing right where the piano is on this kind of dais that's like up a big staircase, because it's a ballroom about the size of a football field. And on one side, well, on one of the narrower sides of the room, there is just this ridiculous staircase of staircases. Not quite Escher-esque, because they're not that creative or avant-garde in this family. Where, you know, the debutante and his parents came out in like a grand kind of ceremony, and then later in the evening they put a piano up there and edited a performance while the heist itself was happening. So, and since that's where, you know, the person was kidnapped, presumably, by whatever the fuck it was that did this to everyone, the head of security, someone who identifies as cop to you, or who reads as cop but is not wearing a riot gear thing, but they have, you know, a hat, so probably a high-ranking cop. Actually, well, Officer Borkbork isn't there yet. And they are talking, Mix Ryerson, the head of the family, is kind of to the side talking to another high-ranking official of the police force, but is kind of freaked out because what the fuck just happened in their house. And So yeah, that was about halfway down the staircase, and then further up, you come out of a door. Head of security looks up and is like, well, what was the title you gave yourself? Captain or
Captain.
Captain Masterson?
Captain.
Oh my God, Captain Masterson?
Mm-hmm.
And the cop looks over. What just happened? What happened, sir? Like, I don't want to overstep, but this is what the hell just happened?
Is everyone else starting to come through as well, including Hedda?
Actually, Edda is kind of sitting down next to the piano, and a riot gear actually no, the other higher ranking police officer, the lieutenant, is kind of talking to both Ryerson and Edda J, but she's not really talking right now. She's more just sort of like sitting like this.
Yeah.
Like not crying, not inconsolable, just still in buffering mode, because what the fuck was that?
Do you want the short answer or the long answer?
This is Police Chief Stetson.
I've heard of your hats.
Oh, how about Waldorf?
Equally valid.
Okay. This is Police Chief Waldorf. This is his investigation now, so... And the dude kind of looks over, is like, yeah, if you would, what the hell happened here? Just what?
You guys not returning my request for a firearm permit?
Technically my office, but it's a big...
That would have been really helpful today.
Understood. That will all be taken into consideration if you don't mind answering a few of our questions.
Sure. What do you want to know?
Do you know what caused all of this?
Yes, Thurzaz incursion.
Thurzaz incursion?
Yes. Not personally one of them, but one of their minions.
And you have experience in dealing with these? Like
no, the thing on my neck, the scar from the fairy blade. Yeah, I've encountered them a couple of times.
Okay, well then it was a good thing you were here. And, because personal security doesn't always have first-hand experience in defending against these kinds of threats. And at that, the head of security lady is kind of like not happy about that visibly on her face, but not gonna...
Thurzaz show up wherever they want to show up, especially in a system like Limos. I'm surprised you haven't had more problems with them.
Well, why would we have more problems with them here?
Oh, right. You're not paying attention to the other things that are going on around you. So the short answer for this is there's a pocket of subspace that the changelings inhabit. Okay. If you have an active, healthy changeling population, they manage that, and they keep it nice and clean, and they cut the grasses back, and they sort of keep all the other random things that live in that particular subspace calm and pacified and not rampaging around. Now, apply your police philosophy to what you have done in the past 6 months, and imagine what happens if all of those people were to suddenly disappear.
Oh, so you're a sympathizer?
No, just an observer.
Right, because I also have data that states that Thurzaz incursions are far more common when there is an active Thurzaz adjacent population.
Your data is probably working under the theory that marauders are more likely to attack changelings, which is technically true. However, marauders are also more likely to attack people they happen to just find on the street and then kidnap into Arcadia.
Marauders? That's a mage term.
Privateers. Marauders, privateers. They have a lot of bad names. But you should know that, shouldn't you?
I know plenty about these kinds of incursions.
That's great. I'm glad you got here in time to stop this one.
Hmm.
Okay, so if the rest of us
What
are
exactly
filing
are you a
out-
captain of?
Oh, Imperial. I forget what the actual thing I'm an Imperial officer. As I pull out my credentials, I'm with I forget which bureau it is. It's written down somewhere.
We'll say you report it to him and can DM it to me later, and he has a pad of paper out, or a little electronic notebook, and is writing it down.
See if I can find it real quick.
Well, if you can give me a number to contact you, then maybe we can work out this firearm permit.
Sure,
To
that'd
make
be great.
sure you're more prepared the next time one of these incursions crops up.
That would be super. Are you also the guy who directed my ship to land in the shittiest part of town? Because that's also neat.
Not me personally. I have bigger things to deal with, but if you can give me your birth number, I'm sure I can work something better out.
Excellent. Yeah, I'll give him my number and all of my credentials, which will pass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm with the. I'll come up with it eventually. It'll come back to me.
Okay, well, at this point, the rest of you come out to see Masterson talking to this dude and the lady who some of you have seen or met as head of security. And the rest of this scene. But right now, this chief of police is far too annoyed at Masterson to really pay attention to who else is coming out of the hedge gate.
I'm gonna make myself scarce.
Me too.
Okay,
Quick fade seems great.
Officer Borkbork, did you happen to buy any gifts yet?
No, I had forgotten about that, and I was going to ask you tonight, and it out the head. We'll work on that tonight.
Well, no, because
All right.
the chief of police is here.
Well,
I guess what you used to do, so I need you to make a stealth roll.
Okay.
You have a pool of 22 plus ones.
I'm going to take 2 + 1s on this one.
I'll allow
I'm
that.
going to have
Yeah.
to. Okay.
Remember, friends. Remember, players. You must declare these before you use them. Or before you must declare you are using them before you roll. I can words tonight.
That makes it a 12.
Awesome. He does not notice you. Or you're pretty sure he is absolutely... You know who this guy is, and he's an asshole, and he is exactly... Like, your supervisor was like... Hey, why don't you go on a long vacation so I don't have to chase down one of my own people? Was basically the very clear subtext of what you were getting.
Yep.
Because, well, cops look out for each other, even in a far future setting with no racism or homophobia.
Yep.
Cop culture has not 100% improved in all systems, but, you know, if you're a werewolf on the run, you use what you can get.
Exactly. Fair enough.
But yeah, so yeah, basically he gave you time to, you know, he gave you the option of leaving before he had to fire you.
Yep.
And he's one of the less awful people, and the chief of police is definitely one of the more awful people, and very much in favor of kicking all of the Supernats out of Logoi, or off Logoi, which is the planet. Limos is the system.
Right.
Ponos is the shitty neighborhood that they have to keep their ship in. But yeah, this guy is, and actually roll me, I don't have your character sheets up. Good job, GM. Good job. Well,
Figured out what you were forgetting.
yeah. I guess roll politics. Roll like int politics.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a 6.
Okay. You vaguely know that the general, it wasn't quite like anti-Supernat or whatever more PC term they call themselves. Bringing up everyone's character sheets. You know that they operate under the assumption, and most of the research that supports it, that Supernat problems are caused by Supernats. Rather than, well, you know, of course there were werewolves at this spirit incident, because who else is gonna deal with it? But the local government is very anti-Supernat. And not surprisingly, they support a police chief who believes the same things they do.
Makes perfect sense.
Yep. Horrible, horrible sense. Wait, why did it close? Why is my computer being weird? Okay. There we go. So yeah, you don't know of the specifics because it wasn't really your department, but yeah, it's the local police force is totally okay with kicking the asses of Supernats, covering up hate crimes as muggings gone awry, etc. Luckily, this guy seems to be so annoyed at Masterson that he doesn't notice there's an ex-cop walking right past him.
I'm okay with that. There will be a reckoning with him at some point in the far future.
Or we just go drop him off a building. I mean,
Yeah, but where's the fun in that? It's too easy.
you drop him off a building. That's where the fun is.
No.
That's fun.
This is
It's
a
totally
mega city.
fun.
It's a
It's
See, I
very
a
got-
tall
mile-high
building.
building.
You got to get your claws in there and really see the fear in their eyes.
I don't have claws. You have problems.
Internet hamster? What? I don't know. Sorry, someone said something in chat and I'm confused now. I'm pretty sure we fed the Nightbot. Did Nightbot do something stupid?
No, your technology was failing.
Oh, okay, yeah. We fed the Nightbot,
We
That's
did
the
feed
first
the
problem.
Nightbot.
but the Nightbot does not run my computer, my personal computer. So yeah, so Officer Bork is stealthing. Craig Daniels is dressed still as all of your clothing and all of your personal effects and the thing clandestinely on any of your persons is back to normal. So Craig looks like a waiter.
Yeah,
and
Merc
has-
actually makes a good point. I'm probably blending in more because of the waitstaff uniform.
yeah.
The chief won't pay attention
Yeah.
to that, so.
Yep. Alphonse, you also see this is going on. What do you do?
I would like to blend in, because I would like to not be noticed by the police. The question is, can I do so?
Well, you are not dressed as waitstaff
I
at
am
the moment.
not.
So I will say, you also need to make a stealth check.
Sure. Better off.
How
still.
did Petruchio get into the party?
Petruchio was invited. Well,
Okay.
Petruchio had identity. That
Yeah.
was invited.
Petruchio rich personed his way into an invitation.
Yep. So let's see.
Or their
Stealth
way.
is going to be Dex, presumably, plus stealth. So it's. I'll grab a couple of plus ones.
Okay.
And I'll roll a 1.
Well, the police chief botched the last time. Let's see if he does it again.
Absolutely not.
He rolled a 2, so yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and so he's being annoyed at Masterson and writing things down and yeah, being a cop.
Apparently not a very good one.
Never mind me just walking very dramatically away from the police.
And a rich person's like, excuse me, who are you, and did you also just come out of the hedge dimension?
Oh no, absolutely not. I was just looking to see what was going on.
Okay, this, as long as you don't botch, you probably beat him on
subterfuge lying?
Yeah, subterfuge, manipulation subterfuge.
Yep. So that's gonna be a 10 base, because I have a specialty for this. And a 2, which still brings me up to a 12.
And he got a total of 13.
Ooh.
Oh, no. And he's like, excuse me, sir, actually, no, it's, damn it, there are not enough non-gendered honorifics.
I used to have a mental list and it's gone at the moment.
Shoot. Well, if you could find it, put it on our Discord, because that would be nice. I like having a nice gender-fluid future setting, so I need more words. Modern English is so limited. Which is stupid, because it's the lint roller of languages, so there should be more to choose from. And there's no excuse to not make up our own. Oh, god damn it, rant brain. Yeah, chat, I'm rolling 1,000 right now. Roll... What? When is break? Break is in 54 minutes. Okay.
Half an hour, I think. Or no?
54 minutes.
Oh, okay.
53 and change. I was like, I'm sorry, can you come down and talk to my lieutenant? And the guy who is, was sort of interviewing Ryerson and keeping an eye on Etta J, he waves him over, and he takes another one of those little electronic notebooks and just nods, and it's like, so you get taken aside, not taken away, but just taken aside as, the chief of police is still talking to the head of security and the Imperial captain who just walked out of the hedge.
Right.
So it's like, okay, so can you confirm for me that you were not in the did not walk through the hedge dimension? And just, they're writing it down. They have this uncanny ability to write with a stylus while not looking at it and just looking at you.
I can't... What is a hedge dimension?
Okay, how did you get up to the second level balcony?
Let's see. Actually, let me do a...
Wait a minute, I'm a
do they
vampire!
simply not believe me? What?
I'm a vampire! It's like...
Yeah, not going to tell them that one. Do they flat out think I'm lying, or they're not sure?
I dare say, you can tell that the chief of police outright thinks there's something wrong about you, but this younger lieutenant is less already made up their mind.
Sure. I know the layout reasonably well because I cased this joint. So I'm going to attempt to come up with a plausible route based on my knowledge of the place and the fact that I still have a radio listening in on the local security.
Okay. I would say this is, well, this isn't strictly a computer roll.
It is not.
So I'm gonna say this is intelligence academics, which would be architecture, more or less.
Mm-hmm. Academics. I do have some of that, yes.
And, I'll let that, like, if you can get enough successes on that, then I won't make you make another lying roll.
Sure.
But if you don't, you will also have to make a lying roll to sell it.
Yep. I'll spend a willpower on this.
Okay.
He said it's not quite computers. Can I apply my cross-specialty hacking to it, or no?
Interdisciplinary skill spec. I would allow it since you're trying to optimize, you know, how would I get up here without anyone seeing me?
Yep.
I'll allow that in this case.
Okay. Sure.
Wow.
28.
This NPC also rolled a 1.
I did not roll a 1.
So, funny story, Twitch. It may seem mean that by rolling 1d10, my players have a 1 in 10 chance of botching. But given the magic of Twitch and how that doesn't happen to PCs in this and the Tuesday night, like, I don't feel bad about making this roll. So yeah, riff for a while. What do you tell this young person about? You roll a 28?
I rolled a 28.
Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, you could.
Then again,
paint me a picture. Paint me a verbal picture.
Well, I went up to the cocktail bar and grabbed one of those little things with the little old camera sticking out on a stick. And then I went around to the service elevator. Nobody, told me it was not okay. So of course it was totally okay. Then I went around the ballroom. I didn't want to go near any of the damage, of course. I don't understand what happened there, but I certainly don't want to be anywhere near any of that. And I go around for like that for a bit.
This lieutenant is just writing down and does not seem to doubt your story at all. Okay, and what is your name? What is my name again?
M. Alphonse, of course.
And he writes that down. Okay, so we'll cross-reference that with the guest list like everyone else we're talking to. Okay. And you are on the guest list, right?
Yes.
Yes. Out of character. I vaguely remember this. This was like 2 months ago. Alright. Jesus, 28. Oh my god. Okay.
That's why I'm using an alias I'll never use again.
So yeah, while that debacle is happening, while an Invictus Von True is steamrolling a cop lieutenant, the chief of police kind of steps to the side and kind of opens the group to include Etta J, who is kind of picks up on that and kind of looks up, and she's like, "What? What?" He's like, "Do you?" And he just motions up to you. He's like, "Do you recognize Captain Masterson? Did you actually see her?" "No, because she was in a thing." "No, yes, you did meet her. But which face were you wearing?"
This one.
Okay. She kind of stares and is like, "Yes, he..." It's so weird. I was awake, but it felt like I was dreaming, so it's all like half remembered now. He was there, and he got me out of something. I'm sorry, I can't be more helpful than that. I'll cooperate with future questioning if I can figure it out, but like, I mean, I've read a lot of stories about hedge incursions and travel, so I'd never had it happen firsthand, though. This is really frustrating. And, the chief of police doesn't seem particularly sympathetic, but is not questioning it. Alright. Yes, at a future time, Ms. J, my department will contact you, and we will ask you to come in for questioning. So, please stay within system, for the time being. And she's like, okay. That's fine. Just, I gave you my rep's info, and just contact me through them. I generally keep kind of secretive in most systems, because it avoids, unpleasant fans. And it's just like, understood. And she kind of looks up at Captain Master, is like, yeah, I don't really know what happened in there, but thanks?
No problem.
I have the feeling that you helped, but I can't remember how. Wait, you said you deal with this is normal, right? Like, not fun, but normal, not fun.
Memory loss is often a symptom of interacting with the Therazaz incursion, yes.
Ugh.
I want to bring it up a little.
Eat the mic!
Hang on.
Mercury read into retrograde yesterday. I'm fingers crossed, but I'm glad we've made it this far through the stream.
Yes, memory loss is often a symptom of interacting with a Therazaz, unfortunately.
Okay, is it true that they actually steal your memories, like a physical item?
I would be more than happy to have this conversation with you someplace else when we're not in the middle of an investigation with the local system police.
At this
At
point...
which point I will glare right through the captain.
Glare right through the what?
The captain, the police captain.
And he just, like, doesn't even blink. You get a distinct sense that he does not trust you. He does not trust the person who came in with more information than he has. Weird.
That's because I did his job for him.
So at this, Etta J kind of gingerly gets up and hands you I guess a more or less like a business card, and it has the name of, like, you know, it's an agent's name. Like, so it looks like this is the talent agency she belongs to. Okay, I mean, I wouldn't mind talking more to someone who knows about this, like...
I would also point out that I gave her one of my cards as well before she left the hedge. So if she still has that, and it still has all my information on it.
Okay. Do you tell her that?
Yeah, I gave you one of my cards before we got you out.
Oh.
I also need my watch back.
And she kind of looks at you quizzically, and then she's wearing kind of like an evening gown with a jacket that has some very nice, well-cut pockets, because women's clothes have pockets in the future. She goes, and she kind of like pats herself down and is like, pulls out a card and the watch and the card. She's like, oh, okay. And then the watch, and she kind of goes like, where did you get this watch?
Eden.
And she looks rather perturbed. But she hands it back to you.
Excellent. I will put my murder watch back on.
Mm-hmm.
and reset it for not currently being chased by a huntsman.
Yeah, it's kind of like a nice silver, I almost said Rolodex. Rolex, the equivalent of a nice silver space Rolex.
Yeah.
On the back of the watch face, is engraved a little symbol, like a little crown glyph, like a royal crown.
Oh, good. I will compare it with the other thing I have that has a royal crown glyph on it later, to when I'm not in the middle of a room full of humans.
Oh, you can tell this is the same icon.
Oh, good. I hate that.
It's one of those really nice, simple clip art type, glyphs, but oh dear, that has implications.
That's okay. I stole something from him. He'll be mad about it eventually once he catches on.
Oh no, that was the huntsman's thing, right?
No. I still have the chunk of the huntsman that the thing that dropped.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, but that's not my watch. I don't think my watch has changed.
Okay. Do you want to try? Oh, that's right. You failed your occult roll. Do you want to try making another occult roll now that you're thinking about all that?
Sure. I will absolutely roll some dice.
Int occult, you have less than 22 plus ones. 22 minus 4. You have 18 plus ones to use before you roll.
I won't add any plus ones. I'll just roll the dice and see what happens.
Okay.
My int plus occult bonus. Okay, int is 2.3. I rolled an 18.
Oh, that's good. I still have my thing. That is 4 successes.
Yay, 4 successes. Go team.
So you're kind of like, hey, this is like the thing I didn't notice before, and the thing that fell off the huntsman when we gave them back their thing. Occult is, looking at your character sheet, occult is not really your strong suit.
No, it's not.
And what you do know of the occult is mostly related to the Silent, which was from the Silent War about 50 years ago.
Yes.
Which was sort of the, chat, that was the last big war that happened and really cemented everyone hates the Supernats. Because the Silent had a weird effect on the Supernats and made them all Rothschrick, or whatever their splat equivalent was. So it was not a fun time for anyone. So with an 18, though, you remember, you're, not Summer Court, you're,
Nova Court.
Nova Court, because it's the space version of the seasons.
Yes.
But it's the future, so there's also still the seasonal courts, because it's not like, we lost Earth, we didn't lose spring. Spring is still a thing that happens on planets, or in this case, summer. So Nova Court likes to beat shit up, and as we said back on Eden, there is a wall full of timers of when, okay, the huntsman comes back in 30 days. I put my murder stopwatch on the rack with my name on it, and because that's just sort of what the Nova Court does. It makes them feel proactive. And it makes them proactive, because huntsmen are annoying. Thus, you have spent many a night at Clancy's bar talking to other Nova Courtiers and Summer Courtiers about huntsmen being bastards. But one time, someone got into a story about how, yes, they're bastards, but they're not that way by nature. That there are stories that the huntsmen are an older part of the hedge and even Arcadia than the Thurazaz. That the Thurazaz rolled in, took the stuff of whoever was there before them, and then took those previous denizens. And a huntsman, a Thurazaz, a keeper, will take out a piece of the huntsman and put in a piece of themselves instead. Which will grant the huntsman additional power boosts sometimes when they are hunting in the name of that keeper. So when you think about it, oh, okay, so, and now it makes sense because keepers then hide that piece of the huntsman not in Arcadia, but in the dreams of mortals. Like, not even changelings. They use mortals as hidey holes for things that they don't want changelings or huntsmen to find. And it's like the eternal tragedy of the huntsman is they won't know their own heart when it's staring right at them. Which is why the maw needed your help. Or the huntsman previously known as the maw, who knows what their real name is. It's might be their own name, it might be something apparently the monarch gave them. And you're not sure, but you're pretty sure. And also that came up in the hedge dream. So that wasn't so much a pocket hedge realm as it was some mortal's dream. Which, like, you talk to a few, you know, NPCs in there. You're not sure which one for sure would have been the mortal whose dream it was, but maybe the one that was wearing the huntsman's heart.
Yes, yes. And I'll be looking for them in real space.
So by giving the huntsmen their heart back, whatever, whether literal or metaphorically, that piece of the monarch fell off of them. You now have it in your pocket.
Yes.
A piece of the monarch.
Yeah.
Yay!
I'm sure that won't get me into trouble at some point.
Nah. So what you picked up off the ground did not belong to the maw. They are completely free and clear and not connected to you or to that anymore. You have a direct connection to the monarch. But then, what the fuck's up with your watch? Because you bought this at a goblin market in Eden. Even though you're pretty sure you recognize this as your watch.
Yes, that will be a conversation to have at some point when I'm not being surrounded by cops in riot gear.
Fair. Yay, info dump. So yeah, the chief of police is continuing to talk to Etta J, and she's just like, she's not trying to be evasive, and you're pretty sure he can pick up on that at least. But yeah, working with, well, you're not sure that she's dream touched, but you know, the hedge doesn't have a fun effect on mortals.
I thought we did establish that she was dream touched last time when we were in the hedge. If she had been damaged.
Well, no, that was the concern, is if a mortal is in there for too long, they become that way. But you are not sure yet.
Is there a way to test for that? As a changeling?
I forget. Ask me again after break.
I will be happy to do so.
Lol. Okay, so Alphonse is being interviewed by a lieutenant. Masterson, you're still kind of adjacent to this conversation with the chief of police who's being a dick.
Oh, and I'm absolutely supporting local security, the people who are the private security, because they actually did the best job that they could in the circumstances.
Oh wait, you're actually you're commending them to the
the private security force did everything that they could have. Anything short of an actual Farazaz incursion would have been handled. However, if you don't know what's coming, it's very hard to prepare for it.
The chief of the head of security, kind of like, she's got an excellent poker face, but you can tell she appreciates, you know, the actual Thurazaz expert apparent commanding, like, yeah, we did our best. And she does bring up, yeah, and it's, like I told you before, Commissioner, we were having problems with the Supernat detectors, so there may still be Supernats in town directly. If you know, there might be. I don't know if these entities, you know, hire hackers, but it would make sense. It's like, I don't, this is a bit beyond me, unfortunately, because as Captain Masterson said, my company is more optimized for, real world threats as opposed to alternate dimensions. The Supernat detectors were meant to optimize us against those, but apparently those can still be hacked, and that is a problem. And it's also a problem if the Thurazaz already know how to hack this technology, then it's already obsolete. And at that, the commissioner... At this, the commissioner, who has thus far shown he has quite a poker face, kind of breaks a little, and you see a flash of... not quite fear, but concern approaching fear. 'Cause, yeah, the Supernat detectors were supposed to keep us safe. And they did not tonight. And that is a problem.
Be a shame if that got out to the planetary gossip rags. I will say pointedly at the commissioner.
Oh, we are already taking care of that. Masterson, give me a wits. Oh, that's right. What is the notice check? It's resolve composure?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, so roll resolve composure as a notice check.
15 plus my weird, because I have that trait. 20.
So that's 5. That's an exceptional success. So, you didn't get bugged so much by the reporters, but like, Sungrazer was getting harassed by someone who then went on to harass Craig Daniels because Dune laced their drink with Wolf Country moonshine. And that'll and there were also, you know, society reporters with little tape or space tape recorders, audio recorders, going around and asking society people before the concert about, you know, who are you wearing, where are you from, etc. You don't see any of those people here now. There wasn't a huge number of them compared to rich assholes. But when you look, it's like reporters, and it's like you sort of met a reporter. They are not here now. That's a little ominous. But also, not uncommon in what is approaching, you know, a rather, not a totally totalitarian government, but definitely there's a propaganda machine, and the cops probably have, procedures in place for inconvenient reporters.
Oh, good. Maybe we'll find them at the giant super prison.
It could be that bad, but it could also just be, you know, very it could also be threatening subtext is enough, like, you know, don't print this part or we'll destroy you. Or get out of town, kind of deal. Which you have heard of. You don't have a lot of first-hand experience because you've been in Eden for a while, where they have police, but it's part of emergency services instead of the other way around. And Eden isn't evil, well, as far as you know. Eden's a nice place. Full of cops that aren't assholes, just for the sake of being assholes, and this is more of a normal Expanse system. So, yeah, the reporters are not here anymore.
So I will wait for the cops to decide that this party is over and done with.
It takes a while. Eventually the commissioner leaves the dais, and confident that he has everyone up here. He has their number and contact info. Goes to check in with some of the lieutenants and people doing interviews down on the floor. Other security people, lots of rich brats, serving staff. Getting to Officer Bork and Craig Daniels. So while all that's going on, where do you stealth off to?
Go ahead.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm thinking.
We're gonna go smoke in the alley.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because we're
I'm
catering.
getting out if I can.
I mean, is it?
Get out of here, please.
Is it break time? I think it's break time. I think it is time to go smoke in the alley and listen to gossip and maybe kind of spread the little bit that we heard. Maybe that the new Supernat detectors were already hacked.
Yeah.
I mean, what's funny is someone bought an NPC to do that. So yeah, it wasn't even just you. There's someone hacked the Supernat detector or hacked the whole house's system. I have to go.
It was chaos from leverage.
Right. Chaos.
We've got Will Wheaton.
Oh Lord.
We got Wesley. No, that's a different character.
I don't know. Is it Will Wheaton, like one of those multiverse people that just shows up in everything?
Yeah.
He might be now. All right, so I need you both to make stealth checks.
All right.
Because while all the rich assholes and the security are maybe not looking for staff, the cops and the other staff might notice 2 staff members trying to escape.
No, that's an 8.
Is this just straight up stealth?
Dex stealth, we'll say.
Okay.
Dex stealth. That makes that a 10 then.
I can do math.
I
got 8.
You got what?
8.
You got an 8. Officer Bork
I got 1 success.
I got a 10.
Okay.
Also 1 success. Oh dear.
Gordon Ramsay, the head of catering, got a 15.
This is Ramsay Gordon.
Ramsay Gordon, that's right. Ramsay Gordon, another purchased NPC. Got a 15 because he's awesome.
Goddamn.
So, redeem custom NPC drop. Obnoxious bard who sings weird songs about secret tunnels. Okay, we might have to wait on that one for a little while. Because there was only one bard at the party and she's not in the mood to sing right now. So, yeah, hey, you two, you have to come talk to the coppers, come on.
Already did.
We were out there.
We just came from out there.
No, that's bullshit, come in. Come on in. No, you stay here, talk to them.
Okay.
Don't fuck with Ramsay Gordon, dude.
What's he gonna do? Fire me?
I know, right?
No, he'll make me an idiot sandwich, and I won't like that very much.
He's already made at least one idiot sandwich tonight, so. Anywho, so yeah, he insists you two talk to this one cop in riot gear, who, like I said, like, they're dressed for, like, awfulness, but, like, his gun is, like, on his back. It's a big gun, but it's on his back, and he's just got, a electronic pen and paper, basically, and he's taking witness statements. You both basically, actually there's probably enough cops because this is the Ryerson estate that you each get to talk to one.
Yeah.
And, you both get asked, what is your name? How long have you worked for this company? Actually, let's just go through this one at a time. Craig, you rolled lower.
Yeah.
So the cop's like, okay, what's your name?
I'm Craig Daniels.
Okay, how long have you been working for this catering company?
This was my first night.
Okay, and did you see anything strange leading up to the concert?
No, I was trying to avoid one of the pesky reporters, but I You can ask the security staff. I was kind of out of it.
Okay, you interacted closely with the security staff?
Yeah, I accidentally kind of went into the control area, trying to find a quiet place to, have a mental breakdown. I don't really remember most of it, honestly, or whatever just happened.
Okay, so we'll find you on security cameras in the security room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll look into that. Actually, no, the cop probably wouldn't say it like that, but it's like, all right, so he'll say it more like, okay, we'll have to double check that with security and their footage. And he's just sort of writing down. He's not being super judgy or super, like, mistrustful of everyone. Like, this is a big, lots of weirdness, and just, did you see anything weird happen from the security room or in the security room?
I know something weird was happening, but I didn't understand what was going on, and I, again, wasn't really paying attention to it.
Okay. I will need you to make a manipulation subterfuge roll. Just a formality.
That is a 12.
Okay, you beat the cops 9.
Oh, good.
They do not yet see any reason to disbelieve you, but, you can tell they're taking meticulous notes on your testimony. What's nice is, for a totalitarian government, these cops aren't really roughing you up.
That is nice.
That's nice. So
I was definitely playing the sympathy card because I can't get away with being a dick to the cops like Masterson.
And not make it quite as far as I do.
We don't have the fake social clout with them.
Also, you literally have the stolen merchandise in you right now.
I just want to get out of here without being looked at too closely.
Officer Bork, you get asked. Officer Bork. Okay, I'm gonna give you a fighting chance on this. Roll me. Actually, no. I'm gonna roll this guy's first, because again, you're talking to a cop.
Yep.
Oh no.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
He must be a new guy. Doesn't know who I am.
Not when he 10 again. 14.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
So this guy rolls a 23 on I'm calling this wits politics.
Okay. Wits politics 2 and 0. Oh boy.
Actually no. I will give you a chance to defend. But it will be another manipulation subterfuge roll, because he's like, wait, I know you. Did you ever work in the computer division? Did you ever work in the computer security division? And so now you have to lie immediately and much more convincingly.
He says manipulation and subterfuge?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that was an 8.
So what do you say?
That was a long time ago, but I didn't do much.
Oh, so you were in the local police, but now you're a caterer?
Well, I mean, when you leave the force, there's not a lot of options open to you, and I'm not very good at physical security, so I take the jobs I kind of can get.
Oh, that sucks, man. So what is your name?
My name's Natasha.
Is that your real name?
Yes, it is.
It's like out of character. Okay.
No, that's out of character. No, it's not my real name.
Okay. is Natasha your name on any of the cop re- registrars that he might be checking right now with his electronic pad?
Probably not.
And he kind of looks at like his phone-sized tablet and is like, I need your real name, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. My real name is Boris. I apologize.
Okay. Last name, or do you not have one?
I don't have one.
Okay. And he brings it up. How long ago did you leave the police force?
Couple years.
Okay. It was a couple years? Okay, so.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. All this horribleness didn't happen overnight.
Right.
So he's like, okay. And he's not being super judgmental, but you can tell he's reading your record, or the police version of a record, because it's not a rap sheet.
Right.
But this is being entered into the system that you were here for this thing, and you were an ex-cop. So,
Yep.
Uh-oh. And he basically asks you the same questions. So, how long have you worked for this catering company?
Just started today. It was a temp job.
Okay. And did you see anything weird leading up to the concert?
See anything weird? No, but I did have something weird happen to me.
Oh, what was it?
I think somebody clocked me over the head and stuck me in a closet tied to a chair, and I don't know why.
Okay.
And I can show you.
Okay, yeah, walk me through it. Do you need any medical attention?
I don't know. Did I show him the back of my head? Does it look bad?
Oh, you're a Forsaken, and it's been more than 5 minutes, so no.
Okay.
It's, like, completely gone. He's like,
Yeah.
it doesn't... Well, I won't even make him roll for that. You're a Forsaken werewolf. You sneeze, and bashing goes away.
Okay.
And he's like, alright, it looks okay, but if you start feeling dizzy or concussed, let me know, and there's a couple ambulances waiting outside.
Okay, well, I basically verbally walk him through the events of everything,
Okay.
like going out,
Actually,
serving drinks, and...
He checks in with the other cops in this, or the lieutenant in this room, and he's like, actually, show me the closet, so I can...
Yeah, and I'll take him to the closet and show him where the broken chair is and everything that I managed to break. But I was like, I don't know why they would do that, unless somebody wanted to steal my identity and pretend to be me. But I don't know why they would want to do that with a caterer.
Yeah, unless they knew you used to work for the cops.
That's possible.
All right. Well, we'll look all this up in the security feed. No problem. Okay, we have an address on file for you. What's the best way to contact you if we need to question you further?
You could just email me. That's fine.
Okay. And yeah, that's all you get. Although, yeah, you gave them your real name, and this cop didn't seem too perturbed by the fact that you used a fake name with the catering company as an ex-cop. Somehow that didn't faze him.
Yeah.
Or he wasn't super judgy. So, you may not be the first cop who had to get other employment after not being good at being a cop.
Yep. And cops out of work probably aren't looked too favorably upon in a lot of areas.
Yeah, depends on the area. He does seem a little surprised that the chair is so well broken because you said you were bad at physical security.
Well, when you throw all your weight into something, things kind of break.
Okay, so after that, so Ramsey Gordon wants to actually no, Ramsey, by the time you two are out of interviews, Ramsey Gordon has basically had remaining staff start closing up for the night because the party is probably over. Like, people are still being questioned. They're basically serving up, they're basically putting the remainder of the food still into, snack trays, but, people from the party, security and staff, and even some rich people are coming in looking for nibbles because they're all kind of freaked out and need comfort food. And, why waste it? But no one's really serving anymore. So a few people go up to Ramsey Gordon and ask, can I go home now? And he's like, did you talk to the cops? Did you talk to the coppers? Coppers, did you talk to them? Alright, then yeah, you can go.
I'm just gonna walk out after I'm done talking to the cops.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, we're getting paid. Oh, I'm not gonna let them stiff us. We didn't make that happen, so this is not on us. They're gonna pay us. Or else. Actually, I forget if Ramsey Gordon worked for the family or the catering company. Either way, Ramsey Gordon says you're getting paid.
When Ramsey Gordon says you're getting paid, you're getting paid.
Fuck the Thursaz. Like, he runs a legit kitchen. Whoever he's working for, y'all are getting paid. Except for the ones that didn't cook the chicken right. They got fired. The rest of you did your jobs, you're getting paid.
It's raw!
I still haven't seen that. I've just seen all the memes. So yeah, you guys are, can I go home? I was like, yeah, go home. Checks in the mail. Or checks order deposit, or checks something. Go. Get lost.
I have to check with Petruchio to make sure I actually got paid, because, you know.
Pay via email.
Hey, does this secret identity actually get paid? Because, you know, I totally actually worked.
I did put, I'll be honest, I did put the tax forms in and everything, so
Well, I mean,
check should be in the mail.
You worked, but you also stole a piece of equipment that could cost thousands at least. So
Yeah, it's a side hustle.
Side hustle.
Didn't
Yeah, but you
get
still
caught.
gotta get paid for your
Selling
labor.
Hashtag cyberpunk. So yeah, Klaus, since you have a computer in your brain, do you ping anyone else, say, I ran away with the stuff? Or do you just disappear into the night?
I'm just gonna disappear into the night.
Okay, that's fair.
Tonight, I'm feeling like being a bit of an asshole and not updating everyone on my current whereabouts.
Okay, so it takes the other two of you who are in the main room, it's about another hour of various police persons interviewing all of the people and getting names and contact information before you are all allowed to leave.
Right.
But you are allowed to leave and not via, like, and do you leave? Do you
Yes.
exit?
Also, what's up with Officer Borkbork? Because this was not someone we knew who was working with us. And I'm a little concerned about this person. Also, a potential local contact.
Who do you ask?
Sure. I will. Did I ever get a name for this person?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I will collect that Sungrazer's gun before we leave.
Mm-hmm. Actually, didn't Sungrazer get their own gun because they, like, phased through everything and stole it?
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
So yeah, so the police are less hands-on about the staff, although in the kitchen everyone gets interviewed, but all of the, like, security people and elites have to stay in that big room until the police are satisfied, and then everyone leaves at once.
So I'm a little unclear about the history. Did I, in fact, since I was going through the gate, did I see this person before they turned into a werewolf and then turned into a completely different cop?
Were you in any of the other games with Boris before the party started? I don't think so.
I don't
because
think I know.
then we
I
would
in
have had
fact
two hackers.
completely failed to overlap with Boris before the party started.
Okay. So, you've probably heard from the others that his name is supposed to be Boris, was it? What was the name you gave Karve?
Yeah, Boris is the main name. Yep.
Yeah. So that guy's name is apparently Boris, and you first met him going into the hedge, which is always interesting circumstances.
Yup.
As vampires and werewolves are not, you know, naturally in that dimension, so, okay. Even though
so actually,
it was a weird version of the hedge for you.
Right.
You've been in the
I'm-
hedge. That wasn't normal hedge stuff.
I'll check with the ship AI. Has it met Boris yet?
What's happening, dude?
Do you know this Boris person?
All right, he banged up over a few days ago before the party, and he helped us get he helped the others get was Boris there for the post office heist, or was it the more municipal workshop heist?
No, he literally came in when we were planning this heist.
Okay. Oh yeah, he came in to help work out the party heist. I don't think he was there for the post office.
Great. Well, just in case there's any fallout from this, can you get a message to him to meet us in our local digs for the wrap up?
All right. Do you mean the bar or the ship?
Probably the ship for this.
All right.
Don't think we want to keep the certain things in the bar.
Makes sense. Makes sense, boss. All right. Email
Thanks so
him
much.
now. Boris, you get an email from... What did you name the ship's AI? NWoD? NWoD?
Yeah, NWoD.
NWoD. But someone bought the NPC of Holly, both Hollies from Red Dwarf as the AI, so that's what I'm going with.
Sounds good.
So NWoD has a strange English a strange London accent. All right, and Boris, you get an email from someone known NWoD at Karve Tourism Ltd. Boss says come back to the ship ASAP so we can talk about whatever just happened, and also I don't think you've met the boss yet. Also, I don't think you've met the boss yet, and you can hear the you've met the AI, I think, and you hear the accent even though it's a text message
In the email.
in an email.
Awesome. All right, it's a little weird, but okay. So I'll cautiously make my way back.
Okay.
Maybe sniff around for a minute outside the ship in case there's a trap, because it seems weird that some random AI is just emailing me.
Well, it's not a random. It's just one
No.
connected to the whole party that you've been heisting with for like 6 weeks.
Yeah, but how well do I know that?
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna
But-
take a long winding way back to the ship just because I'm paranoid that someone's following me. I don't
Okay.
actually think anyone's following me, but I want to make sure.
Okay. Yeah. At whatever time, the two servants leave, and you see there are a number of emergency service vehicles lined up, including one fire truck, but mostly it's ambulances laying in wait, and also the equivalent of paddy wagons. But no one seems to be in the prisoner wagons thus far. So no one got cranky to the cops, or no one yet is implicated.
Oh, when no one's paying attention, I will shut that hedge door so that nobody happens to stumble through it,
Mm-hmm.
if I have the capacity to do so. And no one's paying attention.
Yes, I forget how you do that. On break, how do you close a hedge door? Because usually hedge doors just close after 30 days because magic, but...
I don't want that door to be open inside that house for 30 days. That could
Yes.
be really
I'm just trying to remember if hedge gates can actually be used like that by accident, or if you still need only a changeling or hedge person can use. But I'll look that up over break.
no problem.
Break is in 2 minutes. So yeah, Masterson, Alphonse, you also... So, when Craig and Boris leave, the streets are pretty empty because the servants are kind of just drifting out. Because there weren't as many of them. At least not the contracted ones. All of the resident servants are still there. By the time Masterson and Alphonse get out, especially since you were kind of up to one side, you know, above the rest of the crowd. It's kind of crowded, but you also see the emergency vehicles. Some of the ambulances are being used, you notice, or at least doing triage, because that was pretty fucked up. Whatever happened, the huntsman basically turned all of the humans in the room violent. Mindlessly violent. Or rather, the elites were more mindless than the security staff, but that's because security staff had actual stats to use, and the elites did not. So, chat, I turned the elites, instead of a billion NPCs, they basically just became an environmental hazard. That gave a, not a bonus. What is the opposite of a bonus?
Penalty.
Penalty!
See?
I can GM today, it's fine. So yeah, the streets are very crowded by the time Masterson and Alphonse get out, so where are you two going after all this nonsense?
So I think I need a car back. I also, on my way back out or back, need to clean up the mess I left in their security system before an auditor tries to figure out what the hell's going on there. I might, you know,
and there's still an IT guy for the security system on site.
Yeah. You know, maybe leave a kernel level backdoor just in case I need something in the future. But anything else I want to be cleaned up so that someone would have to go through it with a really good fine-tooth comb to catch it.
Okay. Before I make you roll, that's gonna be a new hacking roll, just because it's been 8 weeks. I don't remember what happened. Masterson, what are you doing?
I'm going back to the ship.
Okay.
Getting back into myself. Finding a nice quiet bottle of alcoholic fun, and trying not to completely collapse in on my emotional resonances for the day.
Okay. Fun fact, there are an array of bottles of alcohol. A few of them are glowing.
Yeah, I'm not going after anything that glows.
Just checking.
No, I don't need that particular headache.
Merc, there's no way that's the only booze on the ship. I'm sure there is plenty of Wolf Country moonshine, but I'm gonna say there's also like normal alcohol and maybe some lacrima if Petruchio's into that. So yes, there are definitely, unless did Dune hide the bottles of moonshine?
That'll turn out poorly for Dune.
But yeah, I can't see Dune actively hiding them on the ship. But yeah, especially when everyone sort of knows what they are and will take their chances accordingly.
Actively hiding them just encourages me to go looking.
And then you hide them better. Dune didn't hide them, but some of them are more like barrels. Okay.
I mean, we can slip into the hedge inside the ship to go find our stash. Sungrazer, I have a stash somewhere inside that hedge.
Oh yeah, because it's a hedge. It's one of those weird hedge ships that everyone had heard about, but no one had seen before until you. Well, no, the rock monsters beat the privateers to death, and then you showed up and flagged. It was the Thorn Queen said, you should give it to them. They're an underground railroad. You should give it to them because they'll make good use of it. And not saying that everything she knows, which is y'all are the Underground Railroad, and like, yeah, give them a head ship. Give them an excellent smuggling ship so they can smuggle more people.
Doing our best.
Anyway, all right, before we break, Petruchio, I want you to make me int hacking roll.
Sure. So that is into 5, hacking a 5. So that's 12. 16. Oh, sorry. Plus computer in my head is a +3. 19.
Okay. And I'll write that down and keep it in case anyone tries to challenge it. Do you leave in the chaos hackers stuff?
Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna
Okay.
clean up this bullshit.
Okay.
If anything, if there's anything of mine that I can't just completely clean up, or bundle into the kernel, I'll just disguise it with Chaos's signature.
Okay. I'll write that down during break, because me writing things in silence is boring to watch. Alright, another custom NPC drop. Barrett, a transforming robot that goes around distinguishing itself as a barrel of beer to sneak into places and drink all their alcohol. I think we have... I now have next game's plot.
Oh, goodness.
Maybe. We'll see. Okay. Chat, this is where we take our 10-minute break. So, yeah, we'll be back in 10 minutes. You know, check in with yourself, take your meds, eat something, drink some water, take care of yourselves. Ask questions in chat, because I'll be researching some things, but I'll be around, and Merc is one of our mods, and she's around, and, you know. So, chat, we'll see you in 10 minutes. Hello, chat. We have returned, despite my horrible time blindness, which I hate having. And how is it past 9 already? Well, we probably started late because time blindness. This is Magic Fish Radio. We are playing Exit to Eden, a world of darkness and space, where it's all the NWoD splats. The veil has fallen in a far-flung future cyberpunk spacey society. And this team just pulled off a heist on some rich people by stealing their anti-Supernat security system.
It was fun.
Supernat detector. And it seems like they've totally gotten away with it, and there will be no repercussions, even though several of them talked to the cops. Oh no, they all talked to the cops. Mm-hmm. Yay.
The hope is that we, get away before there are repercussions, and then they can't track us down because our hackers did a good job.
One, I didn't steal anything. I was not even aware that you all were stealing the device.
Plausible deniability.
Uh-huh.
I just got you into the building.
I am a normal human being. I definitely have no way to sneak something like a supernatural detector brick out on my person.
I wouldn't tell them that you knew it was a brick.
I watched them change it out, though. So it's reasonable.
I just happened to be there and see it.
I am also a normal human being who would probably be somewhat hard to find physically, given that I don't have an address anymore.
I'm a normal human being that just grows extra hair on my face. I don't know what that's all about.
And pause.
Well, I mean, I have to pause sometimes to think, so.
Got the Skyrim guard voice. Is that fur growing out of your ears?
Yeah. Are your ears pointed? Are those tufts of hair? Yep. What's wrong with you? Birth defect.
He has a skin condition. Well, I haven't seen the new Invader Zim. Just the old one. Which ironically is a better depiction of fairy bullshit than anything else I've ever seen.
I'm gonna sing the Doom song now.
Doom 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 doom. More organs
6 months
means
later.
More organs means more human. Yep. That's how fairies work. Anyway. So yeah, when last we left our protagonists, they had escaped the scene of the crime and the Thurazaz incursion, which means no one's maybe noticed that the Supernat detector is missing. Or one of the backups is or was it the first? You stole the one that was in the system or one of the backups?
I stole one of the backups. I didn't have the time or patience to try to figure out how to unhook the thing they had just hooked up. Plus, that's far more noticeable immediately when things go back to relatively normal.
Right. So there are now 3 Supernat detectors that were relevant. There's the one that's now hooked up to their system. The one that's being analyzed that totally wasn't hacked. I mean, it actually totally wasn't hacked. And there's the one you stole.
Yep.
Okay. And so you all after the party, including Boris, because the ship emailed him to do so. It's maybe an hour after after leaving the party, and you are all back at the ship, which is nameless because chat. You need to use channel points to suggest names for the spaceship, and then we will vote on them when we have enough. Arcane the Sage. What do werewolves call jazz hands in their transformed forms? Dramatic pause.
I like it.
Good job.
Oh,
More
I get
puns,
it.
Please. We like puns here. That's why we're someday going to be a radio show. Just not today, because I don't have the spoons. Anyway, so yeah. Y'all make it to the spaceship. In the creepiest, poorest part of town. Or planet. What do you do when you all arrive? Well, I know Masterson's getting drunk.
I was told to come here, so some AI told me to come here.
What's happening, dudes?
I offer Masterson something stronger than a drink.
Totally works with your cover as a catering temp. Ironically. Or so
Boris,
I've
is
been
it?
told.
I don't think we've properly been introduced.
No, we have not. Would you like to go first?
Sure, you can call me Rosencrantz.
I'm Boris. Good to meet you.
I am very, very technically in charge.
I was wondering about that. We all just kind of seem to be taking on our roles and agreeing on everything while you weren't here, so didn't seem like there was anybody really in charge.
As I said, very technically.
Well, to be fair, you weren't available and they needed somebody to get into computer systems and everything, so I guess I was kind of the backup.
So are you local to Limos then?
I am.
I don't think that's a good idea for that to continue. I'm not about to force your hand or anything. It just seems like it's a little inhospitable.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Not by a long shot. The plan has always been to get out of here. It's just lacking the means to get out of here. I don't generally advertise what I am too much.
Did you know? I know someone who owns a spaceship.
You do? Who is it?
I'm sure they'll be around some point.
Oh, okay. Well, I would love to talk to them when they get here.
So what happened today? I think we actually succeeded at the goal.
I summoned the thing just out of seemingly nowhere. We succeeded at the goal.
Oh, good. I'm going to want to take a look at that before we hand it off to our buyers.
That wasn't for the buyers. That was the thing you asked us to go find a month and a half ago. That was stolen for you specifically.
You are the buyer.
You
Well-
are the, in fact, buyer of this object.
Perfect. I was hoping to get my hands on one of these.
I know, you mentioned that several times. That's why we went.
I did. We still have no idea where they've been disappearing people off to. That's my greatest worry. And it's not like we can't run an escort mission from the whatever the name of the moon is. But all of those disappeared people, if they're not dead,
Go on.
well, if they're not dead, they're a problem. Possibly ours, certainly on the fact that we would really rather not have a whole bunch of Supernats and Supernat sympathizers kept up in prison somewhere.
Okay.
So are
Plus,
we
if we
talking jailbreak?
maybe for the moment, at the moment, we don't even know there's a jail.
You would have to find the jail first. I found the Supernat detectors. That is the extent of my ability to find things in this particular system.
I'll say, Petruchio, you were running an algorithm
I
to
was.
look for basically empty parts of the megacity. Let me double check my notes because I usually write down how overly you succeed on these things. Let me see if I can find it. So that is coming up with. Do you check it and it kind of racks up things, or do you wait until it's finished? Because it's still It's finding stuff, but it's still compiling.
Yeah, I will. I am checking up on the current results periodically.
Okay.
And refine.
You do there are a lot of small spaces, especially in the Undercity, that are kind of like between like the equivalent of closets, you know, defunct utility closets, you know, abandoned homes, things like that. Unrented spaces that technically, you know, no one really bothers to rent anything in the way low Undercity anymore, so it kind of defaults to the state. Nothing really big enough yet to be a gulag.
Right.
But it's where is it? I reorganized these notes so I could find things, damn it.
You also need to have that confab with the changelings in the Undercity, and the werewolves in the Undercity, and the thin white duke and his amazing magical friends.
But hopefully some of them are better to deal with than the vampires.
And then Creepy McStabby, who we're leaving here with all of his amazing friends.
Wait, who and all of his amazing friends?
Creepy McStabby. Vampire.
Oh, him.
Yeah, we're leaving him.
Oh, yeah, no. He wants to stay.
Offensive.
He can stay.
You know it's bad when the vampire doesn't even think that's racist. Like, no, that prince is that. Yes.
Yeah, Creepy McStabby.
He's not even that stabby. He makes other people do the stabby for him.
He's got teeth. He stabs.
He's a poser stab.
I believe that term is bites. Stabbing with teeth is biting.
Does he actually stab with his teeth? Then he's a stabber. He might be a biter too, but he's still a stabber.
Okay, Petruchio, you rolled a 15 for that algorithm. So it is working. A 15 is 3 successes. It is working. It's going a little slow, but this is a 2,000-year-old planet covered in a city. So it's gonna take a while.
Yeah, no.
But it is steadily mapping things out. Cross-referencing some of these with what you know as, you know, Underground Railroad Network person with contacts here, you suspect some of these might have been, like, safe houses. Like, you've never been here, but yeah, you pick up a few places like, oh, I wonder... So people who are missing, maybe you could find them there, like...
People who made themselves missing and got scared might very well be hiding in some of these places.
Yeah, although it seems like the bulk of them that you can still talk to are on Dysnomia, which is that extra planet, which is kind of crappier than this one, and is amassing just a huge population of Supernats because that couldn't possibly go wrong. And put them all in one place.
I have a question.
Yes?
We now have 3 Supernat detectors, 2 of the cheap ones and 1 of the expensive ones.
Oh yeah, you got one from the. Did you steal it from the post office or just the one from the distribution center?
I picked up one at the distribution center, then I went back and got another one because I had control over the building at that point, and there was no thing that was going to stop me. So we have 2 cheap ones, and we have 1 expensive one.
That's right. You staked out the post office to see what happened when it stopped working, and then tail the repairman to where the depot was. Okay, and then you got the expensive one.
So I'm going to contact our owl friends and let them know that I have a device for them in one of the cheap ones, so that we can get that particular monkey off our backs.
Let me double check. No, it was after the vampire court. Okay. Keep role-playing. I'm checking my notes.
If one of you 2 technologically inclined individuals could put this schematic data on a separate file so that I can hand this over to the owl folk so that they don't, try to take our phones and stuff, that would be great.
Sure. I guess I could work on that.
That would be super.
Would you say it would be supernatural?
Oh, you're gonna fit in perfectly here.
I'm prone to outbursts of psychotic rage. Just so you're aware.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Huh?
I'm okay with outbursts of psychotic rage. I have those myself. It's fine.
Yeah, but I can drop a building on you.
Oh, I'm sure you could. That's fine.
Please don't drop buildings on each other. I don't want to have to clean up that mess.
Oh, I can't drop buildings. That's not something I can do. That would be all him.
That would require you to have to actually clean something, which
Excuse
I have never
you.
seen you do.
Just because you've never seen it doesn't mean I don't do it.
Are you guys sure you haven't been cops before?
Would you like to check the logs? You have a computer.
Oh, would you like to know about that?
Oh, trust me, we're criminals. We're not cops. Now,
We can check the logs. I'm sure if we went digging hard enough, we could find the logs of the last time you cleaned something. This decade.
If you want to waste your time.
Speaking of which, did we steal anything extra? I just want to make sure, just so I don't lose track of things.
Define extra.
I think Sungrazer might have stolen the floof.
Yes, he did.
So we have 3 Supernat detectors and a floof.
Yep.
Okay.
Where's Dune?
Probably went out to another bar with all of his new buddies.
This is the thing you're supposed to do.
Well, okay, look, I can only wrangle him so much, okay? And you only just gave me this job, so I still have to kind of figure out his habits.
Do I need to go searching every bar in the city?
No, there's probably only 2 he can get into.
Dune can handle himself.
If
If not, Dune actually checks in and leaves status reports occasionally.
If I were an employee, I would also check in and leave status.
I know, but
I
you're not.
am not an employee.
I have noticed.
It's
Okay,
amazing.
wait. I didn't check in once. I did so well all evening, and you're giving me shit for the one time that I
didn't
showed
say
up
it.
to the ship. You know what? I'm gonna go find Dune's moonshine, and if you need me, you can call.
I mean, you don't have to search very far. It's sitting right over there.
It would be the glowing stuff, I think.
Right. Well, if anyone needs me,
Yeah, you want some?
No.
it doesn't sound like there's anyone on our tail.
Officer
Or if you can keep an ear out if there's anything that's more that's semi-obvious about someone looking for us, that'd be great. All of us used fake identities, I think, except for Boris, who's not traced back to the ship. Or were you under a fake identity also?
I was under a fake identity, but they kind of knew who I was, so I kind of had to tell them what my name was. But
Oh, that's
again,
awkward.
it's not traced back to the ship, so
Yeah, exactly.
Fascinating. The cops knew you were a cop.
they knew I used to be one. The one knew I used to be one, but
Hmm.
I told him, hey, I needed a job. Catering was it. It's a temp job.
No,
Nobody
I
likes
get it.
cops in this here in the city, so
It's why I haven't spent any time in person with my relative on this planet.
I thought that's because she was batshit crazy.
That too.
And problematic. Doesn't she have synthetic people working for her?
It's what's done in her class. But yes.
Hmm.
It's useful to know people like that, even if you don't like them.
this is true.
Which reminds me, if anyone needs me, I'm going to be studying the Supernat detector. Actually, I think I'll study all three just to get a point of commonality.
Well, two of them are exactly the same. And I'm
Fair.
taking one to go meet the owl people here in a little bit. I should be good and sauced by the time that meeting comes up.
Sounds good. Don't mind me. I've been doing a lot of people. I would like to do machines for a bit.
You've been doing what now?
People. I would like to do machines for a bit.
Phrasing?
Maybe a little bit.
Okay, since it came up, Boris, give me give me a wits occult roll, actually.
Wits occult. Okay. Oh, that's a 10.
Altogether?
Yep, all together.
That's good enough. You notice a bottle of the glowy Wolf Country moonshine. I don't remember if this has come up before since you've been here. That alcohol is contained, or the spirit of that alcohol has been awakened.
And out of character, what does that mean?
So, Forsaken is werewolfy stuff is still all about animism.
Okay.
There are spirits that are conceptual, like, you know, a hate spirit, a hunger spirit, etc. And that's weird enough, but all physical material has a spiritual component that can be awakened into something resembling sentience.
Oh.
And then there are people who awaken food, drugs, and alcohol for funsies. It's not a great idea, but that means people are going to do it anyway.
Of course. And what does that mean in the sense of this alcohol? That it is then sentient or something else?
It has a very strong spiritual well, not necessarily very strong, because it's just, you know, a bottle of booze. But yeah, that can like, feeding magic stuff to mundanes can make things weird. A werewolf will just get particularly high off it, and a wolf blood too. Like, it's like really good, like almost like how people think absinthe works, but it doesn't.
Right.
Like,
unless you mix it with opium, which
yeah.
most people don't anymore.
Right. Yeah, feeding it to a mortal with no wolf blood could be a bad idea.
Aha.
No one's really studied the effects, because A, spirit shit can be really random, and basically you drink it and roll a random encounter table or the equivalent. Also, you're not supposed to do that. And,
True.
And well, you know, it's one thing if werewolves do it for themselves and just sort of feed their spiritual awareness or just get high extra. You know, rule 1, Urim Dutakis, the herd must not know. Don't feed magical contraband to the herd. So, yeah.
Oh. And Dracus is currently drinking this stuff?
Well, they said they were about to. So
I'm going to try and throw something and knock it out of Craig's hands.
wait, no.
Listen.
Actually, this we can narrate it or you can roll it. What do you want to do? Do you want to succeed at this?
I do want to succeed at this. I will. I want to succeed at knocking it out of their hands.
Okay.
Is this a contested roll, or Craig, do you relent because you just fuck it?
I'll make it not a contested roll. I realize this guy doesn't know what's up. Not really interested in telling him.
Officer Borkbork, you might not have, you likely have not seen awakened alcohol before, because it's also extremely hard to do.
Okay.
So it's like, it's dangerous, but also really rare. But yeah, it's like, well, what do you pick up?
What is closest to me? Because I was literally just sitting down to work on what Masterson wanted me to do. So I've got a laptop in front of me, but I'm not going to throw the laptop.
The jelly cat.
You hear close to your knee.
All right, I guess I'll have to pick up and throw the jelly cat.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm definitely dropping the alcohol to catch the jelly cat. Don't throw the cat.
Who's Daddy's favorite hand-to-hand combat weapon? Is it choo-choo? Is it choo-choo?
In D&D, this is an improvised weapon.
But you're not going to catch the jelly cat in the cup?
It's a bottle.
Even better.
That would be really hard.
Okay, you are... The Jellycat does have a will of its own, so you will have to roll... This is gonna be... I'm gonna say this is Dex Animal Ken.
Alright, let's see. That's Dex.
You do not... On this
Yeah, no,
you do not have Animal Ken.
I do not have Animal Ken.
You
Nope.
a City Wolf.
So that is a 9.
I'm gonna roll for Jellycat. Jellycat 10 again. So I'm gonna say that Jellycat stats were... Math is hard! Jellycat rolled a 17.
Jellycat throws you.
Yeah.
So you manage to pick up Jellycat, but instead of, as you try to throw it, it gets a sense that, oh, I do not wish to be airborne, and wraps itself like a slimy eel. Actually, it's not that slimy. It's more like if you ever pick up, like, Silly Putty or Gack, and it's kind of got that cohesive made of glue feeling.
Okay.
It's a little sticky.
Okay.
But instead it sort of wraps itself around your arm and
Then I'll
does
just
not wish to be airborne.
Then I'll just run over to Craig and just try to knock it out with my own Jellycat on my arm.
Jellycat bouncing along.
I set down the bottle and tried to avoid your crazed running because I realized what's going on. Put the Jellycat down, damn it!
I can't. It's on my arm.
Stop moving!
Okay. I'm gonna say you have to roll to dodge the Jellycat's bite attack.
Okay.
So that would be Dex Brawl at a 5-point penalty because the Jellycat is wrapped around your arm. I'll make it you're a werewolf. I'll make it a 3-point penalty.
Okay.
Something's not right with y'all.
So that's a 9 after.
What gave it away?
Jellycat rolled a 12. Take 1 lethal damage, and you feel a little... Actually, no, you're a werewolf. So it bites you, and it feels kind of weirdly tingly. You don't have any animal, Ken.
No.
But you suspect this is some kind of poisonous bite? That isn't really messing with you because... werewolf.
Yeah.
But yeah, that... What the fuck is this? It's a gelatinous cat with a poison bite attack. What?
This is weird.
Ah!
Ow!
Ah!
That's my hand! I need that!
It's his hand now. Bitch.
I'm not
All
being no
right,
werewolf. I can't
children.
be a bitch.
We can handle this. What is going on here? Okay, Jellycat. I'll pick up a big stein that's been sitting around, probably one of somebody who likes to drink large amounts of alcohol, which is not me.
It comes in 1.5 pints.
Come on, Jellycat, into the stein.
It is holding on. Yeah, if you were human, this might be a lethal damage, but that'll take let's say manipulation and animal can.
Sounds good. So 5 base. 14. Come on, Jellycat.
Jellycat 10 again to resist manipulation. Because Jellycat. I don't know if that's how the rules are supposed to work, but this is how they work for Jellycat. So that was a 17 before adding dots. So that is now... Jellycat rolled a 26 to not be coaxed by the vampire. And now, Boris, you are getting a clear sense of who is actually in charge on this ship.
Probably
I was gonna lift my arm up and be like, oh, you're the boss. Got it. Okay. Can you let my hand go now?
Do you actually say that?
Yep.
Okay, roll me, roll me... I think this would technically be... Oh, what is dominance when you're... rolls when you're a werewolf? And the other animal can't see your renown. Unless it can't. No, then... I'm gonna say this is... Presence politics, which you also have no dots in.
Ooh, can I roll that?
Basically he is doing this to assure Jellycat, I know you are the alpha. Even though that's not a real thing in real life, but this is a make-believe game.
That comes out to an 11, so...
Maybe Jellycat won't 10 again. Who knows?
I hope not.
Okay, I will say that's good enough to convince Jellycat, yes, you're in charge here. I will not try to make you airborne again. And Jellycat, like, lets go with their teeth, but is still kind of hanging on to your arm, but not as aggressively. Just like, oh, I am the boss, so I'm going to sit here now. Being a cat.
Fair enough.
Masterson, what would you like to roll for? Nope, not getting involved.
I'm good.
Master's like, I know better.
I leave Jellycat alone. I have good sense.
Jellycat once bit you to try to save you from an abyssal monster.
I know. I still haven't forgiven Jellycat for that.
I appreciate Jellycat for waking us up.
It would have bit me once. It would have bit me a lot.
Chat, this is all because I was nostalgic about the webcomic Something Positive. And I'm like, yes, the Jellycats are a weird race of cats on Eden. Because it's
Jellycat, my love, my favorite.
Well, Jellycat let go of my hand, so I'll just let Jellycat be wrapped around my arm for now. That's fine.
As you start typing, it takes a little while, but Jellycat is eventually comfortable enough to... It's not quite purring. It's more like gurgling. But you think it's a purr.
Fair enough.
And it's not biting you, so it's probably not a growl.
As long as it's not biting me, I'm happy.
But you're not entirely sure because you're a werewolf zero animal can. Not that there's anything wrong. You know, this is a space venue. This is, you know. Yeah. What was Boris doing again? Like actually doing? I forgot.
I don't remember exactly. Masterson asked me to do something. I just thought I was supposed to be doing something.
Look busy.
Yes.
Okay. Masterson, do you remember what you asked him to do? I am a mess today.
I asked him to put the schematics for the cheap Supernat detectors on something I could transfer over to the folks at the Archimedes Syndicate.
Yes, I was transferring. Okay. I was putting schematics electronically. That's what
okay.
Yep.
I'll say that is easy enough as you're studying it.
With a jelly cat around my arm.
And I think you have already someone already rolled to analyze the cheap one. Probably Petruchio. I don't remember for sure.
It could have been Craig. I think that
I don't
Klaus
think
is
it was
better at
me.
science than I am. I don't know.
But I could. I am very good at science.
But it's the cheap one. But yeah, so okay, we have 6 minutes left. Okay. But we needed a jellycat attack, or I did.
We did.
Do not anger the jellycat.
Oh, Craig, it might not be a good idea to drink that, by the way.
No, I've had this before.
Oh.
It's definitely not a good idea, but I'll do it anyway.
Well, that was an adventure that didn't need to be had then. Okay, back to transferring schematics into the system.
So what you're saying is, if you'd opened your mouth and asked a question, you would not have made a fool of yourself and gotten your ass bitten by a jellycat.
But that's kind of what I do. I make a fool of myself and I learn.
You just do a cheers.
You're not the first person who thought that Craig was, well. This isn't a very human crew.
Dune is the most
I'm
human
totally
member.
human. Don't worry about it.
Dune is the most human member you have, and he drinks this shit, so... Thanks, the jellycat.
Allegedly human.
And I'm going to be drinking some of it too. I need to get high after this.
Pass the bottle over.
Thank you. Pour a little bit on my hands.
Well, you don't really need to disinfect it because you're you, and you know.
No, but the burn feels good.
Oh, all right. Actually, by that point, it's already closed.
Ah, shit.
It's just like you see that as Jellycat moves on his hand, the wound is already closing.
Yeah. All right. I'll just drink it then.
Anyone who's looking also sees this and is like, huh, okay. Y'all don't know a lot of werewolfy, like actual werewolves. So that was interesting. So yeah, so I'll say unless you have any other ideas, you write up the schematics and send them to whoever is going to send them to Archie.
Yep. Or
to Sarah, who's friends with Archie. And you get a pretty quick reply back. Good work. Payment in full when you deliver the merchandise.
I'll be around in the morning to deliver the merchandise.
Okay. We will go over that, I think, next game, because I didn't write down what the payment was, because...
All good.
Well, I know there was a payment discussed, but I have to go look at the VODs.
Knowing Sungrazer at 600 pounds of coffee.
Well, he did, I believe, buy a bag of expensive imported coffee while y'all were there.
Yes.
Probably.
Because it was there. And, you know, Sungrazer does not have a problem. They can quit whenever they want.
They just don't want to quit.
What happens when Jellycat encounters a peanut butter dog? Dear God. How could you, Arcane? How could you?
Mayhem.
If they're both inbred, then I imagine they're toast. Well, okay, you've redeemed yourself with puns. Mostly harmless. Archie schematic reference? That's not even... I don't know what that is. I just... Archimedes Syndicate. Archie.
Archie's the owl from he's the owl ship from Watchmen. It's also Archimedes, the owl from Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, that's the one I figured you were going with.
I suspect.
Oh, I have not talked this much in a long time. Mother is not happy with me.
So I'm going to start a analysis of the other device, which I believe is mostly free of the sensors. Or at least as far as we could tell, the sensors were mostly in the wall. But I should be able to get a sense of what's going on, one hopes, by looking at the device.
At least because you rolled stupidly well on hacking the security system, the sense you got was that it was meant to interface with a pre-existing mundane security system.
Right. And
find a way to and basically, like, patch on all of those sensors with its own weird, wacky magic detecting.
Right. So it sounds like I might want the help of an expert with the parts of occult science that I'm not an expert with to do a combo on analysis. Yes?
Maybe. If that's the way you want to go.
Well, I'm going to try it on my own, and then if I roll badly, I'll probably ask for help.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not my department.
No.
My department. I have lots of occult and lots of science.
Okay. So, Petruchio, do you want to use... So, you could roll int computers, or is it wits computers to do analysis?
Up to you.
We'll say to figure out, like, how it works and programmed and how it interfaces with a larger security system will be int computers. To
Sure.
learn more about you will have to roll I guess this would be int. You would then have to roll to find out, like, but how does it detect magic? That would actually be int crafts or int occult or science. But your craft is better than occult or science.
Sure. So let's do.
But because reasons, crafts also counts.
So hacking specialty is not appropriate, but I think the programming specialty is for the initial roll.
Yes.
So that's going to be 11, 15.
Okay. So yeah, you do get a sense that you know, that house was wired imperceptive to the naked eye, for just, you know, infrared and motion sensors and, you know, weapon detectors, discharge, all those stuff. So you see how this was meant to be an addition to all of that, so that they didn't necessarily need to rewire the entire house's security system for this to work. There is a component in one of the chips that is this weird opalescent, like, glowy stuff. It's like, you know how when computer chips have, like, an atomically, or even, like, aqua aura crystals have like an atomically thin layer of metal atoms attached to them.
Plating.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This looks like it might itself be something like atomically thin. But this unknown element is what makes the detections work and analyze like they're supposed to beyond the regular physical detectors. But to find out what that is will be int crafts, occult, or science. Because cyberpunk space game. All of these things intersect now.
So let's try this int plus crafts roll and see how well it works or not. or not. That is an 11.
11 is
Which is 2 successes.
2 successes. Let me check my notes and see if I wrote this shit down. Yay. Okay, that's stealing it, but what about analyzing it, genius? Oof. Good job, Chris. You take such good notes. Goodness gracious.
All right, so now how can I figure out what this is without burning it or melting it? I guess I can bounce something off it and look at the refractive coefficient.
No, you know what it is. God damn it! I just didn't write down the name of it. Now I don't remember what it is. I used to be good at GMing.
Oh, trust me, I've had far worse. You're doing fine.
And then I took a chronic fatigue syndrome to the brain.
It's almost like we're living through a global pandemic, and have been for 2 years.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Since when?
2 years ago.
My God,
Do
it
you
has
live in
been
a
2 years.
cave?
Jesus.
I mean-
Does a basement count?
That's like a rock.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, I will have to put the name of this in chat because I didn't write it down, but I know. Oh God, what was it? It was. I am bad at GMing today. You actually recognize it. You think there's a kind of. Let me. I have another document. I know it's in this other document. I just have to find it. Yeah, fuck it. I forgot the. You recognize that it is a very, very, very rare compound. You recognize what you think it is based on what you've heard from people in the Merchants Union. It is a compound that is sometimes used to make devices that like store extra magical energy or supernatural energy. So I don't know that it stores blood points, which would be great, but typical, so it doesn't work for us, fuck it. But the groups that have like more nebulous forms of power, like changeling, glamour, whatever werewolves use, because they never talk about it.
I mean, it might. Veto is not physical, but
well, there's
not in
the
the system.
vitae has to come from certain types of blood because of their spiritual resonance, but I don't know that there's a way to separate that resonance from the blood before eating it. But maybe I will check. Unobtainium. No. God damn it! What's really annoying is it was a thing we mined in my home space game when I was LARPing it, and I don't remember the name of it. But yeah, you think it's typically used to store magical energy, but it looks like these folks have used a very tiny, and it's so rare that you haven't actually seen it before, but you've heard of it, and that it has this kind of pearly opalescence, almost liquid crystal kind of look to it. And it's a very, very small dose of it. Yeah, it's like a liquid crystal that stores energy. In this case, you're not sure if it's storing energy or like somehow programmed, because it is a crystal, to detect those energies that it would usually store, like to like.
right.
Ephemerite, thank you, Merc. Because yes, someone did investigate the other one. The cheaper one still has a little bit of it. This one does have more of it because it's a more expensive one.
Well, this is the active one that'll detect more than just active spells, right?
Yeah. Well, this is what I missaid in the first case. So the expensive one has active and passive. Active detects spells being cast. Passive detects there's a vampire in the room, whether or not they're doing anything vampy or magically vampy. So the cheap one only has the active setting. So it can only, you know, it can only detect a magical gunshot, not a magical gun.
Right.
The more expensive one can do both because it contains, maybe because it contains more ephemerite?
Actually, a quick
Maybe.
question. So are they attempting to, does the system use any of the other sensors to try to detect people out of the normal as well as people who are actively magical? Like, you know, people who don't have a normal body temperature or whatnot? Or is it relying entirely on the magical component for that?
You get a sense based on the programming that if in passive mode this gets a ping, that this sort of gives a ping, and then the more standard detection processes, yeah, can check for lower body temperature, lack of heartbeat, or slower heartbeat, things like that. You know, though typically vampires are the only ones that really have really obvious physical side effects to being vampires.
Ignoring people with very high body temperatures for some reason.
It does actually have programming for detecting people with higher body temperatures, but you're not sure what that's about because, well, actually, no, you've been working with Masterson long enough that it kind of will look for any kind of weird fluctuation in heat, body heat, unusual body growth. So could be a lot of things. The bending of light, sound, and such around them.
Oh, using multiple sensors to try to detect
Yeah.
invisibility.
So it looks like you get a ping on the ephemerite chip, and then it zeroes in the more mundane techniques. Although you do see, since you know it's still this is still a mass-produced item, just a very expensive one. You do get a sense that there are places for if you wire your house to have more magic detecting wiring, basically. But you get a sense that that wasn't installed in this case. But that doesn't mean it don't work. Like,
Right.
it could just be optimized that the Ryersons didn't do this time, but, you know, probably, because that, you know, rewiring all that takes a lot more, you know, renovation to your fancy house, especially if you want them to be less perceptible to people with just their eyes. Okay, so...
And actually, given that they used ephemerite for this, can I get a sense? It would obviously just be a, you know, based on my knowledge of weird materials, is there any way that someone would come up with a countermeasure for this that would block magic from necessarily reaching the object in passive detection mode?
Like how?
As in, like, is there something someone could wear or set up that would make it harder for something like this to do magic detection on them? For their magic to resonate on an object, so that this could, because it seems to have the mode we're most worried about is you're a magical creature. Oh, there's a magical creature in here. Or worse, if they actually have the sensors deployed, that this person specifically is a magical creature. That's somewhat concerning.
You're not really sure. There is, to your knowledge, there is no kryptonite to ephemerite.
Mm-hmm. On the other hand, what could one use ephemerite to absorb the resonation so it wouldn't reach an external form?
Possibly, but it would still be in the ephemerite. Therefore, you know, if you're wearing an amulet that sucks out all of your magical power, you're still wearing a magical amulet that's full of magical power.
Mm-hmm.
something you can look into between games, because I have to
Indeed.
reread that document.
I mean, as wealthy as the Ryersons are, could it be that they're kind of supernatural themselves and have a way around their own detectors so they seem as normal as possible?
And as far as we know, they're normal.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure there's self-hating supernats out there.
We're just ones who want to fit in.
Yeah, that's true too. And being wealthy with all that power, they'd be loath to give it up. So,
Not changelings.
We did get evidence that there was a Ryerson that we were in a Ryerson's dream,
okay,
which was where the heart was hidden. But
right.
Doesn't mean we're sure it was a Ryerson, but as I recall, that was the thing that happened.
I think I remember hearing that too. Yeah,
It happened at their house.
It did,
But then
and there
you
was
left their house.
No, the person at the museum you said was related to the Ryersons somehow.
that.
Did I? Okay, I have to
Yeah.
relook my notes. What? I used to take good notes. What happened? Oh, it's in a separate document.
The person in the museum was the person who had the heart.
really Zim and Sim's clone.
Okay, is there anything anyone else would like to look into or research before we call game for the night?
Today I'm good.
I'm good.
Limos Noir. There we go. Okay, I'll have to look back over at the VOD because,
I'll check my other notes that are inaccessible later, but
because I wrote who she actually is, but I don't see the connection to the direct connection to the Ryersons. Anyway, but we'll get to that later. Because someone, I think Masterson wants to find out who that is.
I do.
Because you got a name, and you can look into that. But, okay, so I think that is game for tonight. Chat, thanks for coming to watch us, or watch me fumble through half-remembered, badly written notes from the last 3 months. What's most annoying is that part of why I'm so depleted is because I spent the last 3 weeks cleaning all the things, and it doesn't even look that clean on my screen, and I am disappointed. Anyway, so hi, I'm GM at Ms. Chrysula and at Magic Fish Radio, and we are... we do this every other Saturday, although we're also doing this next Saturday because I was sick last week, so we're doing this 2 weeks in a row. After that, we get back to Indie Game Saturdays, where we will hopefully find someone to run an indie RPG one-shot for us. And we will stream it, and it will be fun, because I need my new games fix, especially now that I've decided to boycott conventions for the foreseeable future until there's either a cure for COVID or COVID denial. Because otherwise, my spoony bod just can't go traveling. But I still need my new games fix. So I'm gonna try and use this to get it.
I'm kind of with Fadior on the beer robot. I'm kind of looking forward to that one.
same.
I would like to be an android, please. My meat sack has failed me too many times. I missed the robot conversation, though. I'll have to look over that later.
There was a drop of a
the barrel robot?
of a robot
Yep.
of a mimic robot that pretends to be a beer keg looking for
Okay.
sucking out beer.
I wrote all those down, chat, so if they didn't show up tonight, they will show up in some form later, I promise. That was one of the reasons I was so quiet while everyone else was riffing, because I'm like, I need to write down the NPCs. People paid channel points for this. But yeah, so hi, I'm the GM and generally running the channel. We are looking for indie GMs for Saturday nights, and we are looking for a few new players for the Tuesday night Vampire the Masquerade game. It is V5 set in the roaring 1920s, not the miserable 2020s. Yay. If you're interested in any of these, or even just, watching them, please join our Discord, because I'm terrible at all other forms of, well, no, I'm worse at all other forms of social media. That said, by some miracle, I have been cast in a stream TTRPG on another person's channel, and now they've announced it, so I can say things. Nerdsmith is starting a Ravnica game for 10 Thursday nights, starting this Thursday, January 20th, where I don't have to run the game or the OBS. I can just sit there and play my Moo, the Tabaxi Barbarian. She has a good wisdom, but int is her dump stat. I'm looking forward to this. So yeah, follow my personal Twitter for more info on that. And someone else do outros, because I'm going to look for someone to raid. Moo, yes, Fadier Moo. Her name is probably longer than that, but she doesn't, that's the bit she most reliably remembers. Let's just say I wanted to write up the dude as a Tabaxi Barbarian, but she ended up more Reverend Jim. Which was really nice, because then I rewatched The Big Lebowski and realized I don't want to invoke this. This movie has not aged well. And I'm just gonna keep rambling, so, let's go reverse, or I think you all changed order while I wasn't looking, so...
We changed order over break.
Okay, Craig, who are you when you are not running away with clandestine stolen goods?
I'm doing that a surprising amount of the time, but when I'm not, I'm Dracus, and I exist on this, our Tuesday night stream, on our Discord, couple social media platforms as actual Dracus, just like I am in chat, and sometimes I make short films, so that's me.
Magic.
Masterson, who else are you?
I am Zardoz, at Once and Future Doctor on Twitter, and I have stuff I'm working on. It'll be exciting eventually.
Woohoo! You write your own indie games. It's fun. Next, Alphonse of the many names. Who are you?
Yep. I'm Josh. You can often find me as Neme or Nemex in various places. And this weekend, I'm mostly hanging out on the Aresia Discord server, because Aresia isn't happening this weekend, the SF convention, but there is a social hangout that's happening, which is pretty fun.
I heard about that, but they're not doing a full virtual con.
They're not.
Because
but
they canceled the last minute.
Yep.
Okay. Post about that on the Discord, because I would like to do that, because I miss Aresia. But, yeah, this is not a time for con season. Next, Officer Bork.
Yes, I am Tempto on Twitch here. I'm Tempto2099. I do video game streaming Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 10:30. Also do some Warhammer 40k painting streams. Kind of trying to get into doing D&D prep on stream, but since my son's part of the group, I have to be careful with what I stream on there. Like I said, mostly video game variety streaming. I do game clearing, achievement hunting, pretty much and I do retro gaming usually once a week, so good times.
Woohoo! Okay. And, we are going to raid the Dice Cult, who are running some form of Vampire the Masquerade. We haven't raided them in a while, but then we haven't run a Saturday game in a while. So... And we are also going to start doing video game streams here. I'm just figuring it out. But I upgraded to a proper Switch, so I can stream now. Well, I could always stream, just now I can stream Nintendo games. Like, the Animal Crossing one that I'm actually addicted to. But for now, we are raiding the Dice Cult. So chat, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Whether you're watching live or on VOD in the future. Until we see you again, please take care of each other. Please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you next time. Bye.